watu wangu, my people, home girl is back again, yeah? Anashinda kipotea kirudi, but I'm back. Like, let's celebrate the fact that I'm back for now. Yes, life has been so hard, up and down. Started this YouTube channel in 2018. I really wanted to grow it, like, but a lot of things have happened in between. Hadi imefika place. Hey, mabidi tu nipotee, nirudi, nipotee, but the good thing is I'm back. Like, I'm here. So, yay! So anyway, today I came back with a story that happened to me back then before I joined campus. Huh? So yeah, let's get to the story, bana. So back in I couldn't remember the years so well. Okay, let's just say back when I finished high school. When I nilimaliza high school, my big sis used to work in Zanzibar. She had a contract. She used to work in Zanzibar and with her family. So she had gotten her last born son, my nephew niece. Tumuite tu nephew for now. Hey, kizungu nayo imetukataa. So my nephew, she was still new there. She had a nanny obviously, but she was still new. So you know, when you're after maternity, I believe someone will want to be close to the family and stuff. So I remember I had to like pack my bags to go and like nimkalishe, at least mtoto yakwe mkubwa, and then you know also she had to go back to work after 3 months. So mimi huyo Zanzibar. I remember I even traveled alone actually. I was so young. I was so scared about traveling alone, but I did it. I mean, I'm confident, so you can't blame me. Anyway, so I traveled to Zanzibar. I got there. When I got there, I don't know, Tanzania and Zanzibar have a lot of paperwork. I don't know why. They tend to go through a lot of, oh, why are you coming here? Are you visiting someone? Why? Like, they have a lot of questions. So we stayed, there was this certain apartment we used to stay. We stayed there for quite some time, and then, you know, I didn't have friends. You know, I don't know, Zanzibar it's kind of so tiny in a way where if you move to a neighborhood, people tend to want to know, what are you up to? Where are you from? And I remember we were only Kenyans, and we had some wazungu pale juu yetu actually. So that apartment ilikuwa tu, I think, for foreigners or something, yeah. So even people like really want to know, by the way. But then I didn't have friends. That's the only lady I had as a friend was the lady who used to do my hair back then. So we moved to another apartment. So it was like a new chapter for me, because now I started making friends. I started like knowing people, and I started like at least going out. So I remember, forward it to December now that year. Yes, to December. You know, so now Zanzibar is a Muslim island, yeah. So you won't feel that Christmas vibe, because like you don't really you don't relate to most of the people around you. So we had to like, my brother-in-law had pangad to like book a hotel. He booked a hotel Mashambani. So when you move outside Zanzibar town, headed to Mashambani, he booked a hotel. It was called Azao Resort actually. It was very nice. And that time ilikuwa imetengenezwa too. I think we were the first guest actually. So December, I think it was something like 23rd, 22nd, 23rd there. I remember, I don't know what's wrong with me and dates and years. Anyway, so we traveled, we went there, and when we got there, you know, when you get to a resort or a hotel, this big 5-star hotels, you tend to like, when you get there, they give you hot towels, you have to like wipe your hands. And the first person who like alitusalimia was like, I didn't want to know who it was, but it was a guy, but he was hot, man. God took his time with that nigga. Mali Safi. So me, I was just looking at the looks. So I was like, you're cute. Okay. So we checked into our rooms. We had lunch. So I remember at lunchtime we were seated like hapa. So the next table, it was him and I think his colleagues of his. And me, I didn't like want to know who it is. Like me, I didn't. But when he could like throw glances on me, and I was like, stop. But yeah, he was looking at me. I mean, who else? Me. So I was like I like venye mtu anakupeanga attention fulani hadi you're like interested, you want to know, hey, who are you? So, and I heard from my bro-in-law saying he's the manager of the place, he manages the resort, and I was like, okay, a young guy, ambitious. He's ticking all my boxes, I mean, but I was young. After form 4, imagine. So, and then what happened actually? And then after that, after taking lunch, we went to swim. I had to take my nephew to go swim, my older nephew. So when we were there, he was seated at the bar. So the bar was like there, and then he was just looking at us. At that time, I had a bikini. I was looking all, your girl, So he was like still throwing glances, and I'm like, ilifika place, it looked creepy. It felt creepy because I was like, if you wanna say something, so just come and tell it to me direct. Like, don't go through corners. Come to me direct. As in, it felt a little bit creepy. Another problem with the resort was it was still under, like, so many things were not like azikuwa zimeshughulikiwa. The Wi-Fi ilikuwa inashika on the reception alone, and the room, ukiwa kwa room to the reception was a long distance actually. So if you've taken a picture, very cute picture, and you want to post it on Instagram, imagine you have to walk all the way from your room about 500 meters or 1 kilometer. Yes, I'm gonna menikata pia. You have to walk a long way. Like, there was a very long corridor you have to pass before fike reception. Imagine umepiga picha umeenda huko. There was even a bar that was in the middle of the sea, ocean. So imagine umepiga two pictures supu. Man, you're killing it. You have to walk all the way to the reception to look for Wi-Fi to post it. So I remember this one time, I now started, like, reception had to be my friend. Like, I had to go and like frequent Nini reception because I wanna like see what's going on the internet. Nini. This is one time I'm sitting there and he came and he asked me, "Do you want anything?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. I'm perfectly okay. If I needed anything, trust me, you know where the kitchen is, the dining. I mean, yeah." And then he was like, "Oh, okay, I was just checking." I was like, "Sure." And then I remember there's this one. Okay, I think it was the same evening or the next day at that evening. People were planning to go out of the resort, like guests now who were there were planning to go to there was a club outside that place. So wangechukuliwa obviously na gari ya the hotel. So like my sister was like, "Si uende bedhi unafanya nini? Could she just go mingle, go to the club, give you money, you go jifanyia vitu zako, bora you guys mfike on time." And and I was like, okay, let me just call the reception. I called, wanted to inquire about it, and guess who had alishika simu? You already know. So hata maneno ilipotea. I'm like, what's going on? I think I started now like kind of liking him, kind of, so some of that. What? Kwani maneno imeenda wapi na what? Sort of thing. Perfect. Anyway, so I had to, like, I think I got to naskizana. I don't know if it was network issues or something. So I had to walk from the room to the reception now to inquire about the party. And we started like tukaanza kuongea. Suddenly we started like bonding. We started connecting somehow. His vibe was so nice. My vibe was also in another level, and we kind of started vibing, and then all of a sudden we started being close, like close. Hadi, I remember the moment when we were like tuko tushamaliza our staycation there. We had to like go back home, obviously. I remember I cried, and I was like, "Bitch, we don't read the makeup for any nigga." But that one I had to. I cried because like we were like every single day of the day we were like hanging out together. We could go to the sea, to the beach, to were like almost every single time we were together. Tukaanza kugrow pamoja and all that. I remember when we went back home, we never stopped talking. We continued talking actually. We now started going for real dates. So I remember this fateful day, he even called my sister and asked if he can take me out on a date. And my sis was like, okay, bora umrudishe before 10 p.m. because that's when we go to bed. And he was like, sure. He picked me up at 7 p.m. Went to some hotel karibu na Forodhani. Yeah, it's called Forodhani. Yeah, there's a place in Zanzibar where from 6 p.m. these street food is sold. People are just walking around. People are just like having fun. But we went to an hotel just close to that. It was a sea facing, actually, so beautiful. And then tukirudi, tukirudi, he started coughing like like, and then I was kind of concerned, and I was like, what's going on? He was like, no, labda ni baridi tu ya the sea, and it's cold. I don't know, when you're close to the beach at times at night, it can get a little bit cold. So I was like, okay, worried. Now you have to drop me home because it seems like you're feeling cold and you're not okay. So he dropped me home, and sad enough, that was the last time we talked. The last time we talked, he ghosted on me, and I was so scared. I was like, it reached a point where I had to tell my sis, imagine, Raj is not picking my calls, he's not texting back, he's not saying anything. Did I do anything wrong? No. And I remember my sister asked me, did you do anything? And I was like, no, we didn't do anything. No. No, we didn't do anything. So I don't understand why he's ghosting me. So imagine, he ghosted me for a whole month. No texts, no calls, no nothing. Until Kafka place, I had to get used to the fact that, okay, it's okay, he's not coming back. But it was so hurtful. Like, ilikuwa uchungu, ilikuwa inauma sana. Like, what? So, ilifika place, I had to like come back to Kenya because I had to join uni. I was supposed to like enroll to school campus. So it was, I think, May. I remember I texted him because my flight was at around 4 p.m. I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm traveling back to Kenya. I feel like I needed to tell you. And yeah, funny enough, he replied after a whole month. Like, a whole month. He replied and he was like, oh, that's nice, you're going back to school. I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, so you get to Kenya, we'll Skype. And I was like, okay. I had so many questions. Like, I really wanted to ask, where have you been? Why were you so silent? What's going on? Do you think like you need to give me an explanation of where you've been? Like, nigga, we grew something together. Like, tell me something. But I was like, you know what? Somehow, if he wants to tell me, he will. If he doesn't, I mean, see, we move regardless, summer. So I traveled back. I came back to Kenya. I joined school. 2 months down the line, my sis called me and she was like, hi, mama. And I'm like, hi. And then she's like, where are you? I told her I was headed to the hostel. It was around 4 nimemaliza classes. So I was headed to the hostel. I used to stay in a hostel along Survey. It's a private hostel because KCA University apparently don't have hostels. So I was headed to the hostel and she called and she was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm headed to the hostel. And she was like, okay, when you settle down, you tell me, there's something I need to tell you. And I got so scared. I was like, I normally kiki with my sister and we talk about everything. This is weird. So I went to the hostel, I sat down, and I remember calling her and she told me, mama, there's something I'm about to tell you, and please, like, it's so hard, but you need to hear this. I started getting scared. Like, I started shaking because I was like, this is weird. This is really weird. My sister told me that Rash apparently passed away about a month ago, and he hata unajua Waislamu venye huku washazikwa, yani mambo yote yashaisha. The family is even now starting to get over the fact that he's gone. And I was like, I remember asking my sis what killed him. My sis was like, apparently he's been sick for quite some time. He had lung cancer. And I was like, why didn't he tell me? As in, why? And I mean, we had something. Don't you think like I needed to know, or you could have prepared me psychologically for what was about to happen. My sis was like, Mama, maybe he was protecting you from the pain and everything. I'm like, no. At least he could have even broken up with me. He didn't break up with me. As in, you know, break up with me and at all. It was so painful. Actually, it was the most painful time that I've ever had. And I remember sitting there crying myself to sleep, and some lady came in and she was like, she was looking for a laptop charger, and she was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I couldn't even hide it. I told her, and that's when we started being friends. Shout out to Christine. I still love you, Mama. And yeah, that's how I lost my first boyfriend, my first love. And do I still feel like I need an explanation? Definitely. Have I gotten over it 100%? Not really. I still go back to social media and check his pictures because they're still there. I don't know. The account hasn't been blocked yet. And even places that we visited, even like, it's so much memories back on his account. And it's just so sad that we didn't break up with my first love. Death had to like, maybe he was scared of telling me, or maybe I don't know, but yeah, that's how it happened. That's the story for today, and thank you for listening. And don't feel sorry for me, I've already gotten over it, and we move on. Yeah, with that, please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and show love, please. Let's grow this family together. That, bye.